Hello everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so today we have solved the session of week 2. How many of you have covered the week 2 content?
Sir covered.
Yes, sir. Completely covered. Weekly. We are on week.
Okay, so I think most of you are aware of this solve with the session. So I will just keep a notebook and pen along with you to solve the problem. You will see the question on the screen and then you will be given some time as per we feel necessary for that question to solve. And to answer that question, like don't type it on chat, Zoom chat, WebEx chat or somewhere. Just log in a new tab or a new browser, go to joinpd.com and enter the code shown on the right top of your screen, which is NYM double QI. Okay. As soon as you enter this code after logging to joinpd.com, you will, if you're using laptop or desktop,
बोलो
you will,
कर रही हूँ ना
okay, so I would request you all to keep yourself on mute unless and until required to ask some question. Okay. So if you're using laptop or desktop, your view would be something as shown on the left side of your screen. You will see the question and on the side you will see options to answer, or if it's numerical answer type, you will see a box to enter the number. Okay. But if you're using it on mobile, your interface would be as shown in the right side of the screen. You have to click on the option answer question. It will be shown on the right bottom of your screen, and after clicking on that you can select the options, or if required enter the number as per the question type. Okay, if you're using it on mobile, your interface would be as shown in the right side of the screen. You have to click on the option answer. Okay,
Sir, what's the code?
code is shown on the right top of your screen. It's NYM double QI. Okay, are you all able to join, or any problem in joining or something? Anyone?
Join, sir.
Okay, moving forward, let's, okay, so we will like discuss the concept first and then we will move on to the question based on it. So what is frequency distribution? So frequency distribution, okay, so in week 2 we will talk about only qualitative data, or in other terms most of you know it as categorical data. So both means the same. So whenever you see qualitative data, it means categorical data
Sir,
only.
excuse
Yeah.
me. Where I have to join?
Log into joinpd.com, and there you have to
Yes.
enter the code shown on the right top of your screen, which is NYM double QI.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so week 2 we will focus mainly on categorical data or qualitative data in other terms. In week 3 we will focus on numerical data or quantitative data as well, but today our main focus is on qualitative data only. Okay. So frequency distribution, it's just we list down all the distinct categories in a table and write down the corresponding frequencies as per the count. Suppose I have three categories. If my first category is occurring 5 times, second is occurring 7 times, and third category is occurring, let's say, 2 times. So I will write down my three categories in the first column, and in the respective column, I will write their frequencies. So if you want to see, so Mm, Okay. Are you all able to see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
suppose we have three categories, let's say A, B, and C. And let's suppose my data set is something like this. So I can make a table to represent the categories I have. So here it's first column, I can write down the distinct categories I have, and the frequency represent the number of times the specific category is occurring in my data set. So my categories unique here are A, B, and C. And if you notice carefully, so A is occurring 4 times. So I can write 4 with respect to the category A, which represent that A occurred 4 times in our data set. B occurred 3 times in my data set, and C occurred again 3 times in my data set. So this table is generally called frequency distribution, which represent the frequency of each and every categories. Okay. Moving further, we have relative frequency. So relative frequency represent the ratio, or in other terms, you can say proportion of times that category is occurring. So again, if we check out the example we have, so here you see that total frequency is 10, right? 4 plus 3 plus 3. So relative frequency of category A, or the proportion of times, I can write it as it's occurred 4 times of the total of 10 times. So I can write it's 0.4 or 4/10. Both are the same things. Similarly for B, it would be 0.3, and for C again, it would be 0.3. So that's how we can compute relative frequency. One unique thing about relative frequency is if you add them all, it should add up to 1. Okay, so that's one of the important property you need to keep in mind. Any doubt in this, anyone, before we proceed further?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, great. Let's move to the first question then. So consider the following frequency table. Okay, so you are given a table where you are given. Okay, I put like okay. So you are given a table and your categories are these a range of marks. So 50 to 55 considered it as category 1. 55 to 60 is your second category. 60 to 65 is third, and 65 to 70 is fourth category. And you are given that there are 10 students which lies in the second category, which is the range of 55 to 60 marks, and their relative frequency is 0.2. Similarly, you also know that there are 11 students in the fourth category, or in the range of marks 65 to 70. But you need to find is the total number of students in the class. So I will just set a quick timer so you all can input it. Okay, I will extend the timer by 30 seconds. So it's 1.5 minutes would be, I think, sufficient to solve this.
Sir, it's done.
Yeah, let other
It's
also.
too easy. It don't need 1.5.
Done, sir.
Yeah, I hope you all the concept seems that easy to you.
Done, sir.
Great.
Ishan, while we are waiting, this peer deck, does it have a calculator? Online calculator?
No, you can open it on new tab or
Got it.
do it
Okay.
on your phone. Okay. Yeah.
So in portal we can have like things.
Yeah, in total you have a calculator to work on with. Okay, does any one of you need more time to solve or shall we proceed further to solution part?
So we can proceed.
So we can proceed.
Let's proceed further, sir.
Okay, let's check out responses. So most of you have given the answer 50. Okay, that's great. So yeah, we are given the frequency and relative frequency. Okay, so in such type of question, always try to find out the category for which all the information is known to you. So here for category 2, we know both frequency and relative frequency. And we know that formula for relative frequency is just frequency over total frequency. So if you look at the category 2, for category 2, we know the relative frequency, we know the frequency. We're just putting in the values, we can find out the total frequency, which would be nothing but 10 over 0.2. It's come out to be 50. Anyone, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, proceeding further. Okay, so this is just an extension of that question. So what we are doing is, so there is one main question. Okay, so we have now done prelude 1 to question 1. It means we have done the first step which is required to solve the main question. Now we will do the second step which is required to solve the main question. We will encounter the main question soon. Okay, so here now the same data is given to you, and it is noted that the number of students in the category 60 to 65 is one less than the number of students in interval 50 to 55. So we need to find out the number of students who belongs to category 1 or who scored the marks in range 50 to 55. So you can use your answer to the previous question also to in your calculation for this one also, because these are all linked question until we reach the main part.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done.
Then so
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay, moving forward to the solution part. Before that, I would like to okay, so most of you have answered, I think 15. Let's see. So it's, I think major thing is like the language of question you must be able to interpret what it's trying to say. So we have assumed that the frequency of our first category, which is the range 50 to 55 bx, and it is given that for the third category, that is range 60 to 65, has the frequency 1 less than the category 1. So its frequency would be x minus 1. And we know that sum of all the frequencies is 50, as we have computed in the previous question. So they all should add up to 50. So we can, it's a simple algebraic equation which you can solve and find the value of x, right? So x would come out to be 15. Anyone, any doubt in this? Or shall
No
we proceed
problem.
further?
We
Okay.
can put.
Okay, so that's another quick question. You have computed the total, you know the frequency of category 1. So what would be the frequency of the third category, which is 60 to 65? And we know that the category 3 has frequency 1 less than the first category. It's mentioned in the question only, right? Okay, moving further, let's your responses. Okay, so okay, some of you are still inputting 49 or close to zero value. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we have already computed in the previous question that the frequency of our first category is 15, and we know that the frequency of third category is just 1 less than that value, so it would be just 15 minus 1. So you can directly input 14 for that. Okay. Uh, so this is our main question. So for this question, to solve this question, we did the first 3 steps. We computed the total frequency. We computed the frequency of first category. We computed the frequency of third category. So what was our major motive to do all that is just to find the relative frequency of category 60 to 65. So you can use all the values which you have computed till now to find out the relative frequency of third category, which is the range of mark 60 to 65.
I have to ask one thing.
Yes, please ask.
Do we get calculator in the qualifier exam?
It's if it's all just the you know regular questions, just like practice and the concept discussion. So it's definitely helpful for you, irrespective of qualifier exam. It's helpful for you in general also, right?
Yes, sir. That I know, but in qualifiers do we get?
In
Yes, I
qualif
think it will.
Like we quiz one, sorry.
in quiz one, like
Yes.
similar type of
Like
question you're asking. Okay, so in quiz one, okay, so the concepts are gonna be these only. So questions
Sir,
will be
question
based only
is,
on this.
can we use the calculator in quiz
Yes,
one?
you get. Yes,
You
you
will get
get the calculator.
you
Yes.
will get the TCS calculator.
Yeah.
You will have on-screen TCS calculator. So those who don't know the TCS calculator can Google it, TCS calculator, and you will see the interface and you can practice your calculation on that only.
Done, sir.
Okay, let's I think move to the solution part. Before that, okay, most of you have input this value. Okay. Okay, so we know that we discussed before even proceeding with our first question, we discussed that the relative frequency is just the proportion or the ratio of frequency to the total frequency. We know that frequency of 60 to 65 is 14, which we have computed in the previous question. And in the first step, we computed the total frequency also, which was 50. So the relative frequency would be 14 over 50, or in general, 0.28. Anyone, any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's move
Move on.
to the first step of the question 2. So you will see again the main question. Hopefully after this one only, there is only one step, I think. You need to find the relative frequency for categories listed in dataset 1 and dataset 2. You just need to compute relative frequency for both the datasets. That's all.
So we have to choose between these three, but we have computed it, so where we have to write it.
In the option, you will see that I have computed it, right? You got a option to
But we
take.
don't have to write the values.
No, we don't have to get the values. Just keep the values. We will use it in the next step. Okay? It's just the first step of question 2.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please ask.
What is mean by preludes?
Prelude means it's just a step. Like for the question 1, we did prelude 1, prelude 2, and prelude 3. It's mean we have our major question was question 1, but to solve the question 1, we did 3 steps. First step was the question which was asked in prelude 1 to question 1. Second step was prelude 2 to question 1, and third step was prelude 3 to question 1. After computing all those what was asked in these 3 questions, we moved on to question 1 and we give the input to the final answer. So it's just like we have one major question, we are breaking it into stepwise question, so you can proceed stepwise. So you, whenever next time you see the question one, you know that first you need to do that, then second step, then third step, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so two of you have selected that they are not able to compute. So may I know if they are here, they can ask where are you troubling in computing the relative frequencies? Okay, I assume that they are not present here in that case. Okay, so now you have computed the frequencies. So okay, so we from here you can notice one thing, one major conclusion we can draw is the relative frequency for both data sets 1 and 2 are same, but their frequency distribution is different. So you can have the data set whose relative frequencies are same, but frequency distribution may not necessarily be same all the time. So this is one of the major conclusion you need to be aware of. Okay, so that's something interesting about relative frequencies. Okay, so we have made one conclusion statement, right? So we are gonna use that over here. Will the relative frequencies be the same for dataset 1 and 2 given their frequency distributions are different? So we have one dataset and dataset 2 over here. Will the relative frequencies be the same for the two? Okay, let's move to the solution part. So 59 of you have said yes, 7 of you have said no. Okay, so let's see. At least all of you know how to compute. That's a good thing. Okay, so relative frequency, if we compute, it's gonna come out to be same. Those 7 who answered no for that, please check your calculation again. It might be the calculation error because the only formula we have used here is of relative frequency. We just need to compute total frequency and then divide the respective frequencies for each categories to get the relative frequency. Okay. Anyone, any doubt till now before we proceed further?
No, sir.
Sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have made one conclusion just 2 questions back. So keep that conclusion in mind and also think a bit more and choose the correct statement among the 3 given. And there is only one correct statement. So just think. Okay, let's move to the solution part. I think all of you who are active have answered already. Okay, that's majority of you have answered option 1 and a few portions have gone to option 2 and option 3. Okay, so if we start from option 3 first, two data set having the same relative frequency will always have the same frequency distribution. That's the thing which we have just discussed, right? Even though they have the same same relative frequency, their frequency distributions were different. So definitely the statement 3 was not correct, right? Moving forward to option 2, two data set having the same frequency distribution cannot have the same relative frequency. They will definitely have the same relative frequency, right? If there are two data sets both having 3 categories each and each category have the same frequencies, then definitely they would have the same relative frequency, right? Because it's gonna be the same proportion always. So it means that our statement 1 is correct among the 3, right? So here is an example. If there are same frequency distribution, they will have the same relative frequency always. And option 2 is a contradictory to option 1. So if option 1 is correct, then option 2 cannot be correct. And option 3 we have discussed 2 question back, it's incorrect one. Any doubt in this, anyone till now?
No, sir.
Okay, so option 3 is incorrect. We did that too. Okay, now moving forward to the visualization part or the plotting thing which we do. So bar chart is basically you represent each category as a bar where the height of bar is represent in general the frequency or the count of the category. So whenever you are interested in showing the count of some category, you should go with the bar chart. Okay? Pareto chart is something we arrange the bar chart either in ascending order or in the descending order. You can arrange it in any order you want. By arranging means I am meant that you arrange it with respect to their frequencies either in ascending or descending order. Okay? So whenever you want to show some ranking or you want, like your major focus is on, let's say, top 3 categories or lower 3 categories, you can go with the Pareto chart because that will give you a better visualization, right? Moving forward, pie chart. So pie chart is just you have the slices. Each slice is considered of a pie is considered as one category. So pie chart is mainly useful whenever you want to represent what proportion of pie or what proportion of total frequency that specific category has. So whenever we are interested in know about the proportion or percentage of some categories, we prefer the pie chart over the other bar chart and Pareto chart. So the major things you need to keep in mind for any given data set, you can plot any chart, any of these chart, pie chart, Pareto chart, or bar chart, but it's majorly depend on our objective. If I am interested in showing the count of categories, I would like prefer bar chart over the other two. If I'm interested in showing the ranking, I would prefer Pareto over these two. And if I am interested in showing the proportion or percentage, I would prefer pie chart over the three, right? And one another or interesting thing is whenever you have ordinal data, we try to keep the order of categories maintained. So for ordinal data, we generally do not plot Pareto chart because it might violate the order. So let's say if you have this, let's say you have some categories. I don't know if that would, you have category excellent, good, average, and poor. And let's say their respective frequencies are, let's say, 10, 12, 8, 6. Okay. So while plotting if I make Pareto chart, so first bar would be of good, then we will have excellent, after that we might have average, after that we might have poor. So here you see that the order of categories is not maintained. It should either be excellent, good, average, poor, or the reverse, poor, average, good, excellent. So that's why for ordinal data, we avoid Pareto chart because it violates the order in which categories are, right? So yeah, that's the thing we have discussed so far. Any doubt in understanding the plotting part, anyone, before we move to the question?
No, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
How to identify data is ordered or
Data is ordinal or nominal. That's what we did in the week one, right? We were identifying which scale of measurement this variable has, whether it's nominal or ordinal. So we did that for some purpose in week one, that it will be used in the upcoming weeks. So
okay, sir.
whenever data is ordinal, your variable is ordinal, right? Whenever your variable can take value excellent, good, average, you can order them, right? But if
Yes.
your variable is taking value, let's say variable sports name, cricket, football, volleyball, we cannot order them, right? We cannot say that cricket is greater than football or something. So that's nominal data. For nominal data, you can plot Pareto, but for ordinal, we avoid the Pareto chart. Okay.
Oh, yes, good.
Okay, moving further, let's have, like we have discussed all this concept. Let's see how much you have grabbed it. So result of class president election in school is declared. Okay. And our major interest is in the number of votes. Okay. So major thing you need to focus on this question is the number of votes received is what we want to visualize through the chart. So which graph would be more appropriate, bar chart or pie chart?
Sir, in this condition, should we assume that each student can vote more than once?
Sorry, can you repeat?
In this condition, should we assume that each student can vote more than once?
It's not a major concern for us, even if they can vote more than one or not. So even if they can vote, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can plot the bar chart. So in general, whenever it's the voting question, we assume that each person can vote only once. If they can vote more than once, it would definitely be mentioned in the question only. Okay. Okay, so here we are interested in the number of votes, or in general, you can say the count of a specific category. So if there are two candidates, so I can say that candidate one is my first category, candidate two is my second category. Interested in the count of the respective categories. So whenever we are interested in the count or frequency, we plot bar chart over the pie chart. In general, you can plot both the charts, but yeah, the most appropriate, suitable, or preferable one would be the bar chart. Okay. Okay, if you are clear with that, let's move on to next one. So if Manohar wants to show the percentage of expenditure of his family on different articles, so here again you have some categorical variable which can take 4 categories: food, education, entertainment, and clothing. And you are interested in the percentage of expenditure. So major thing to focus on, it's percentage of expenditure, not the amount which is spent on each category. So that's the only hint in this question you can work with. Okay. Okay, I hope most of you have answered. Okay, that's something unexpected. All of you have answered correctly. So that's a great thing. So we are interested in showing the percentage of proportion. So yeah, definitely it's the pie chart we discussed earlier. Okay, so enough conceptual question, but yeah, just to what would I say the exact word? Okay, so just to inform you, beware of the concepts which are covered in this session, or just whenever you are solving question, just try to think conceptually, because you will definitely be having a few conceptual question in qualifier / quiz 1. Okay, so just try to think conceptually instead of just memorizing the formulas. Okay. Okay, so the given pie chart, you know that there are total of 80 pens in the shop. Okay, so we know the total frequency is 80, and there are 4 different colored pen, and we know their respective percentages or proportion or relative frequency, whatever you want to say. So you need to tell how many blue pens are sold in the shop. So I will extend the timer by 30 seconds more. So just try to solve it. Okay, just one more announcement. I hope most of you might have got it or will get the mail soon. So on Thursday, we have a revision session for week 1 and 2. After that, we will have a mock test for week 1 and 2 combined. So after the revision session of week 1 and 2, we will release the mock test. So you will have a day to attempt that mock test and solve. Okay. So if
It will
like
be
session
available
is,
in portal.
yeah, on the portal only. So on Thursday, we have a session from 6 to 8 for week 1 and 2 revision. So the mock might release Thursday night or Friday morning, and it will be available complete Friday for you to solve. Okay. Okay. Do you guys need more time in this question, or shall we proceed further?
For 10 seconds more because I
We can
Okay,
can
okay.
proceed.
enter the answer.
Okay, okay, let's do it. I think we are we have a lot of time now. Okay, I think we can move to the solution part, or there are some who still need more time. Okay, we will move to solution part in that case. Okay, so most of you have answered something around 10, I think. Okay, so from the pie chart we can visualize. Okay, so relative frequency, you can also write it in terms of percentages, but in general, whenever we ask relative frequency in question, you need to input proportions only. Okay, but in percentages also there are some book percentages also, but in general, unless and until specified enter in percentage, you need to input it.
Your voice is not coming
Here
properly,
it
sir.
is given that blue pen has relative frequency of 12.5% or 0.125 in proportion, right? So, and we know that total frequency is 80.
Your voice is not audible clearly.
Relative frequency again, we know relative frequency, we know total frequency, we can continue.
Sir, your
Sir, you
voice
are
is
not audible.
5 minus 80, which comes up to be 10. Any doubt in this, anyone?
We heard nothing, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Is my voice breaking?
No, sir,
It's
inaudible.
absolutely fine.
not
Okay.
audible, sir.
Nearly
Pitch
muted.
is too low.
No? Am I audible to you all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now it's clear.
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you, sir.
Okay, so till at what point did my voice break? Did we discuss the solution completely or did it break in between?
From the start, sir.
From the start? Okay. So here the relative frequencies are mentioned in percentage. So as per some books and in general also you can like write the relative frequency in percentage. But whenever we ask you a question like find the relative frequency or something, unless and until specified enter in percentage, you have to input only in the proportion. By proportion, I mean the value would be in between 0 and 1 only, right? So here it's given that relative frequency of like this table was not given, but the pie chart was given and it has sufficient information for you to build this table, right? So we know that 12.5% of pens were blue, or in general, you can say that 0.125 proportion is of blue pens of the total, right? So recall the formula of relative frequency. In that formula, it involves three terms: frequency, total frequency, and relative frequency, right? And of those three terms, we know two terms. We know the relative frequency, it's 0.125. We know total frequency, it's 80. So we can plug in the values and find the frequency, which would come out to be 0.125 into 80, which is equals the 10. So there are 10 blue pens sold in that shop. Any doubt in this, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, let's proceed further. Okay, so one thing is cumulative frequency. I don't know, maybe a lot of you may not be aware of this, but cumulative frequency just means the addition of the frequencies. So if I can use my whiteboard, let me see. Give me Okay, so yeah, suppose you have some, let's say 3 categories, or let's say you have 4, you can have any number. So these are categories, okay, and these are their respective frequencies. So suppose I have category A, B, C, and D. I'm assuming there are 4, and frequency, let's say 10, 12, 8, and 7. So if I ask for cumulative frequency of category A and category, let's say C, so it just means you need to add the frequency of category A and category C. So it would be 10 plus 8 equals 18. Cumulative frequency is, I think you will come across this term in the last 4 weeks of the course content. But yeah, so that's what cumulative frequency is for now. You need to just, it means just the addition of frequencies. Okay.
If a category is not mentioned and simply ask what is the cumulative frequency, that time we can add all.
And categories would be mentioned always because it should specify which one we are talking about, right? So it would always be mentioned.
So why we need the cumulative frequency?
Yeah, that thing you will come across in last 4 weeks. We will do that. You will know why we need that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but cumulative frequency of all the observation, like you have given that 10, 12, and then after 8.
7,
So we,
yeah.
yeah, so we can add up to like 10. First frequency of cumulative frequency of A is 10, and then B is 10 plus 12, like this.
No, A and B would be 10 plus 12.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cumulative
the
frequency
thing
of
you are,
B will,
yeah, the thing you are mentioned, it will become more clear in the last 4 weeks. But yeah, the thing you are, I get your thing, but yeah, it's related to some random variable concept which will be discussed. But for now, the categories will be mentioned to you, let us assume. So if it's mentioned that we are interested in cumulative frequency of category X1, X2, and X3, so I will add the frequencies of these 3 categories.
Can
Yeah.
we call frequency as observation, sir?
Frequency as observations? No, observations are something which you are, like frequency is how many times you have observed this
Yeah, so
specific
actually, sir, in
observation.
one particular questions, like a total number of observations, I think they have considered as a
Total
total
number of,
frequency.
yeah, total number of observation means how many observations you have observed. So that would be the total frequency only, right?
Yeah, but sir, in cases we have studied, sir, case and observations are different.
Are
And
same.
like
Cases and
same,
observations are same.
both are
Yeah,
same,
both
case
are
and
same.
observation same.
Yeah, cases and observations are same. Okay.
So in case of data, sir, like when we have observations, like our cases where we have multiple like occurrence of the data, like then we'll call as a frequency, right, sir?
Yeah.
So
Right.
why we are saying again, we are telling the total number of observations, we are referring as a total number of frequency. Are they same or different? I feel it, though both are different things, sir.
Me, okay. Let me share my whiteboard. Okay. So, okay. So consider your data set. I think we have already created one. If I don't think, yeah. So this is your recorded data set, right?
Yes.
How many observations are there? This is my first observation.
Yeah, so
This
three.
is my
I feel three, sir. Three observations, three categories,
no.
three cases.
This is my third observation. I'm observing it, right?
Okay.
This is my fourth observation. This is my fifth observation, right?
Okay.
This is my sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th, right? So in general, how many observations I have observed is 10. How many unique observations I have observed? It's 3.
3.
Right?
So it's a bit confusing, sir. When we talk a total number of observations, sometimes I feel it's like only cases, only not the frequency.
Cases, right? So what happens is we observe data set like this only in general. Okay. After
Okay.
that, we put them in some tabulated format. Suppose this is
Yes,
my
sir.
tabulated format, right?
Right,
Let's
sir.
call it table 1.1. So here, if you notice, each category is your case, right?
Yes, sir.
Because when I say category A, it kind of, uniquely identify the first row. Category C
Yes.
uniquely identified the third row. So these are cases, unique observations are cases, but whenever I say total number of observations, so I can have one observation repeating multiple of times as well, right? So that I can represent by frequencies. So we arrange the recorded data set in some tabular format so that we can have cases to distinguish each row.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Is it clear or still confusing?
Somewhere, sir, actually, it's not hitting that my mind actually. Actually, I have also seen in Google, sir, that frequency is like a number of occurrence of a data,
Yeah.
and observation is like relevant to like a cases the which is appearing again and again. Then we can say is a frequency, but observation is like a particular like case only. I feel like on which we are doing some collecting a data or something like a person name. We are collecting his age, phone number,
Yeah.
blood group, and all.
Yeah. That we can have, but we can also have one observation repeating again and again, right?
Yeah.
We can have one. Okay, so that depends on data. The data you are talking about, it's like we are taking off each person's and we assign them some unique IDs, right? So that data we can record, but we can also have some data like this.
So can I like make it a point like that whenever we're talking about of relative frequency or any frequency, that time I can prefer total observations equal to total frequency. So it will not be equal to the total number of cases. Is it right, sir?
Uh, okay,
The
so
unique cases, I mean to say unique cases
yeah,
will not be considered when I'm talking about total number of observations.
yeah. Okay, so let me give you a quick example. I think this might be okay. So let's say these are the roll numbers. Okay, these are the names, and these are the marks. Let's say in graded assignment 1. Okay,
Yes.
so let's say roll number is, I will put some random values. Yeah, let's say there are 3 students, so roll number gonna be unique, right? Let's say
Mhm.
name A, B. Let's say 2 students have the same name,
Mhm.
T77, 95. Okay, let's
Yes.
assume this. So here you see this is your observation, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is your
Right.
observation, this is your observation. So total number of observation is
3.
3, right? And
Yes.
total frequency is
3 also, sir. One.
3.
I think only one. Like relevant to which name or what which column we are preferring frequency, or only the observations or cases which are coming frequently, or like on
Yeah,
which basis we are talking about frequencies.
observation should uniquely identify each row, right? So here it's doing that, right? So here what happens is observation or one case is repeating multiple times, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
I arrange them in some tabular format
Tabulated form. Yes.
such that each unique observation uniquely identifies my one row. And to show that it
Mhm.
occurs 4 times in my data set, I have assigned frequency to it.
Yes.
So this is my one observation. This is also one unique observation. This is also one unique observation. But total number of observation would be 10 because it represents that this has occurred 4 times. This has occurred 3 times. This has occurred 3 times. So that's what total number of observation would mean. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone, anything else? Shall we proceed further?
Let's proceed further.
Okay. Okay. So we have done the cumulative frequency. Okay. So let's answer one question on that as well. Calculate the cumulative frequency of red and black pens sold in the shop.
Done, sir.
Sir, you asked for only black pen first, correct?
Black and red pens, right? Cumulative
But I
frequency of
can,
red.
both I can get together?
Yeah, cumulative frequency means you need to add the
No,
respective
sir, I
frequency.
can combine to both the numbers because I can't separate numbers, typing problem, now.
Yeah, there would be only one number. There are
Yeah,
not
okay.
separate
I
numbers
will
to
put,
input.
yeah, okay. I need to upgrade to play it, but it's not working.
We're done.
Done, sir.
Okay, let's proceed to the solution part. So just like we did in the previous question, we have computed the frequency of blue pens. Similarly, like again using the formula for relative frequency, you can compute the frequency of red and black pens, right? And cumulative frequency, we just discussed
Correct.
that we need to add them, right? So cumulative frequency of red and black pens would be nothing but the summation of the frequencies of the two, which is 20 plus 30 equals 50, right? Anyone
Yes,
any
sir.
doubt till now? Yeah.
No, sir. Correct.
No, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please ask.
So can we instead like add out the relative frequencies and then multiply it by 80?
Yeah, that would give you the same answer.
Yes. So that approach would be better, right? Because we are reducing the number of steps.
Yeah, in terms of complexity, that would be a bit simpler, I feel. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Right. Because here also we are doing the same thing. If you notice 0.25 times 80 plus 0.375 times 80, you can take 80 common from the two, right? And just add. So it's one and the same thing. Okay. Okay, moving further, we have now covered two major concepts of week 2, which is the first one is the frequency distribution. Second one is the visualization part, which we did through bar chart, pie chart, and Pareto chart. Next thing we will cover is some measure of central tendency. Okay, so this mean, median, mode, all are referred to as measure of central tendency. For categorical data, we cannot compute mean because we definitely cannot perform addition on this categorical variable, right? So the only measure of central tendency we can compute here is mode and median. So mode of the categorical variable is the category which has the highest frequency. So if I have three categories, so the one with the highest frequency would be the mode. And it is also possible for you to have, it is possible that two categories have the same frequency and both have the highest one, right? So in that case, both of these category would be considered mode and that would be referred as bimodal dataset. And if you have more than two categories having the highest frequency, then that would be referred as multimodal. Okay. Coming to the mean part, okay, oh, we cannot compute mean. Coming to the median part, so median is the middle value of the data set when arranged in ascending or descending order. But instead of descending, always try to keep it in ascending order. You will know the reason in week 3 by saying that. But yeah, it's better if you keep it in ascending order. So one thing to notice, to compute median, we first need to arrange the data in ascending order and then find the middle observation, right? So when my data is nominal, can I arrange it in ascending order? Can I arrange the categories
No.
in ascending order? No, right? Because in nominal categories cannot be ordered. So median we can only compute whenever we have ordinal data, right? Because only then I would be able to perform the first step required for calculation of median. So median is defined as the middle value in ordered data. So okay, now we have arranged in ascending order. So suppose if there are odd number of observation, there are there are 7 observations, then I can say that the fourth one is the middle one, right? But let's say instead of 7 I have 6 observation, then which observation would be the middle one, third or fourth?
Both.
Both, right?
Both of them would be the median.
Yeah, in that case I would consider both of them as median. Okay, so in case of odd number of observation I would have only one value as the median. In case of even number I could have 1 or 2 as median, right? So okay,
Sir, I have a query in median for nominal data.
please ask.
Sir, if we have some nominal data A, B, C, D,
Right,
and
let's
we
consider
have
this one. And yes, please continue. This is our data set nominal.
yeah, A, B, C, D, but we don't have frequency of A, B, C, D. We have frequency of number of number of persons in A box or balls in A box or number of balls in B box, something frequency. So it will
That's what the
considered as
frequency is.
ordinal data or nominal data.
Nominal. So how do you define nominal? Okay, so let's say this is some frequency category A, B, and C. 10, 12, 6. These are the respective frequency. So can I say that B is greater than A? Is it possible to say that B is greater than A?
No.
Just because B
No,
No,
has
sir. No, sir.
no, right? So never make comparison in terms of frequency. By arranging, what I mean is arranging these categories, right? So let's suppose we have some ordinal data. Let's take some example. Let's say good, average, and poor. So G represents good, A represents average, and P represents poor. So let's say my data set is okay. So there is some order, I think. So good would be greater than average, would be greater than poor. So let's say our data set is this. 4, a good example to represent that thing. So 5 and 6. Okay, that would work. Okay, so first step is arrange the data in ascending order. So if I arrange this data in ascending order, it would mean that firstly I would have P, then I would have 2 A's, right? Okay, it's already in the ascending order. Then we have 3 G's. So number of observation here are 6, right? So which values would be the median? Would be third and fourth,
A
right?
and G both.
Yeah, so both A and G are median. Okay, let me make a little modification in this data set.
Sir,
Yeah,
I'm just little inquiry here. For in case of nominal and ordinal, we will not be having the average of third and fourth component, right? Like school time, but we have actually studied, sir, for median, for numerical, like we were calculating the average further.
yeah, we will do that in week 3. Week 3 will be
In
focus on
numerical data,
numerical.
it will be there, huh, sir?
Yeah, in categorical, you cannot take average of 2. Can you take average of A and G? It's not
Okay,
possible, right?
right.
Okay, so now let's suppose this is my data set. I have made change in only one observation. I have replaced this G by P. So now my arranged data set would be this, right? I will write by a blue color for this new data set. So now my median would be this third observation and this fourth observation, right?
Yes.
So this time only A is median. So in case of
But
even
sir,
observation, yeah.
but in lecture, the professor has said that median can be uh, A or G. It can't be A and G.
It can be A and G. There is no specific rule to say that this would be median, this would be median. It's up to you.
Okay.
Some textbooks say consider both as median. Some say consider any of the two you
Okay.
like.
Okay.
Okay, so it's up
Okay,
to you.
sir.
Okay, so in case
Okay.
of even observation, you could have one single median, or you could have these sometimes two as the
But
median.
in this GAP, like at what purpose you have taken this in order?
G represents good, A represents average, and P represents poor.
Okay,
So I can say that good
okay,
is greater than average, right?
okay.
And first step is arrange in ascending order, right? And then take the middle observations.
In exams, will the order be mentioned for ordinal data always?
No, in exam, the syllabus is week 1 to 4, right? So
Yes.
as per the content of week 1, you should be able to identify whether it's ordinal or nominal, right?
So, for example, there was a question in practice assignment related to jersey
Jersey,
sizing.
right? Yeah.
So it was not mentioned what the order was, and I could not remember. So
Yeah,
I
but
took an
jersey
arbitrary.
size we can arrange, right? Jersey size small, large, medium. Okay, so I think medium
Excel.
and then large. Okay,
Excel, double
let me
Excel.
write it down. Medium, large. Okay, these were the 4 sizes in that question, right? So I can
Yes.
definitely order them. That small size is definitely smaller than the medium, large, and Excel. So there is some specific order. So you need to identify that it's the ordinal data and not. If I
Sir,
say,
but then,
yeah,
uh, what's the use of the jersey number? What type of variable is that? Is it
It's a
nominal?
label.
yeah, jersey number. We cannot say that jersey numbers are just a label, right? We cannot say that the jersey number 5 is less than jersey number 7. It doesn't, we cannot say that the player wearing jersey number 5 or this jersey is greater than this jersey, right? All jerseys are same. These are just numbers, like just, you know, numbers
Labels.
of labels, kind of labels.
Yes, sir, that is nominal data only, sir.
Nominal data, yes. That would be nominal. Okay, we cannot say that this is possible. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thing I wanted to cover. Let me recall just a minute. Okay, great. This thing. Suppose, okay, so we know how to create frequency distribution given the data set, right? Can we do the reverse thing? Let's say
Not
These are
exactly like
categories, and this is, let's say, the frequency. Okay, so I will take again G represents good, A represents average, and P represents poor. Okay, so let's say the frequency is, okay, I will keep it small for calculation purpose, 3, 3 and 2. So given the frequency distribution, so how would you find median for it?
if it is ordinal data, then we can arrange it in order and
Yeah,
then
G represents good, A represents average, and P represents poor. Is it nominal or ordinal?
ordinal.
Ordinal, right? So how would you find median for it?
Arrange them in ascending order like P,
Arrange
P.
them. Yeah, so can we convert this frequency distribution to original data set?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? P occurred 2 times, so I might have P occurring 2 times, right?
School time subjects, yes, right, same
Yeah.
way.
A occurred 3 times, so I can write it 3. G occurred 3 times. So this is my data set in ascending order, right? Ascending order. I will just ignore my handwriting. I'm bad at it. Okay. So now I have 8 observations. So median would be 4th and 5th, right? If I'm not wrong.
Right.
Yeah, 4th and 5th should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both are A. So median would be A, right? So given a frequency distribution, you can now also compute median, right? Or anyone, any doubt in this?
Sir,
Yeah,
what if the frequency of poor is more than frequency of good?
more, it doesn't matter. Okay, we can, I can interchange the two. So let's say 2, 3, 3. It is possible. In that case, I would have P 3 times here, and G will occur 2 times, right? So number of observation is again 8, right? So median would be 4th and 5th observation. So 1, 2, 3, 4th observation, 5th observation. So my median will not change. Okay, so it is possible to have. But the major purpose was to convert from frequency distribution to data set. Given frequency distribution, we can find data set. And given data set, we can also compute frequency distribution. So both steps are doable now for us, right?
So, sir, for this case, we can draw a bar chart, right? Because of number of frequency. Can we draw the Pareto chart also if there is no order in category?
Yeah, this is ordinal data, so I cannot plot Pareto chart for it. The order
we
of
can draw
categories would not be there.
a Pareto chart also, right?
No, if it's ordinal, I cannot plot Pareto chart. The order of categories might not be preserved in the Pareto chart.
It is there, sir. We have heard like in Pareto chart, we have to maintain the category or
Yeah.
order, sorry, order.
Order. Suppose A is 4, right? Let's suppose. So if I plot the Pareto chart, at first I would have average, right?
Yes, sir.
Then I would have poor 3.
No, no,
And
sir.
then,
Order in category I'm talking about. Like poor will come first, then average, then good.
yeah, then that would not be Pareto chart. That would be bar chart, right? Let's say you are saying poor will come first, right?
Yes.
Then average, and then good. So it's a bar chart, not a Pareto chart. This one is Pareto.
So Pareto is related to the frequency order size.
Yeah, order frequencies. Yeah. So here you see that when we are arranging by the frequencies, the order of categories is not preserved. So that's why for ordinal data, we don't plot Pareto chart. We avoid it. Bar chart is a better one.
Right.
Okay. Anyone, any other doubt before we move? I think one last question we have for today. Anyone, any doubt? Or shall we move further?
No, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in previous slide, sir, which one is correct?
previous slides. Okay, let me share the previous slide. Such. Okay. Previous slide means this one, right? Okay, which previous slides you are mentioning? The whiteboard one or this one?
So Pareto chart and bar chart
Okay, that
slide, sir.
that's okay. So here is my data ordinal or nominal?
Ordinal, sir.
Ordinal, right? So for ordinal, I cannot plot Pareto chart. So it's wrong one because the order should either be PAG or GAP. But here you see that order is violated, right? So we don't plot Pareto chart for ordinal data. We only prefer bar chart or pie chart depending on our objective.
Okay, so sir, if this question is given in the MCQ, so sir, which one is correct, sir?
What kind of question? Can you specify the question statement if possible?
So
Like for this data is asking, can we draw bar chart, pie or Pareto chart, or both we can draw? Like questions will come.
Okay, so given this data set, you first identify that it is ordinal. So only possible charts you can draw is pie chart and bar chart. You cannot plot Pareto chart for it. Okay, and if the question mentioned that, yeah,
Is medium is never changed?
is median, it depends. In some scenario, it can change, in some it won't change. It
Okay.
depends. Okay, anyone, anything else before we proceed? Okay, so we draw Pareto chart only for nominal data for now. Of all, like in categorical, we have only two, right? Nominal and ordinal. So we draw Pareto for nominal only, not for the ordinal.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we can proceed to the next question. Or do anyone have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, let's see further. Okay, so we have discussed the mode thing, we have discussed median. Mode we can compute for both ordinal and nominal. Median we can only compute for ordinal because if it's nominal data, I won't be able to perform the first step, which is arranging in ascending order. Okay. Okay, so it's again prelude one. So we are at the first step of question 8. So the responses given by Suman on several tosses of a coin is given below. T stands for tail, S stands for heads. Okay. You need to identify the mode. What would be the mode of this data set? You are given a data set, you need to find mode. Okay, so does anyone of you need more time for this? Please answer
Head,
this
sir.
correctly. We have spent a lot of time on this. Let's. Okay. Okay, so mode of the response is here. 10, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so those who have like one who have ticked option A and option C might have made some error in counting, I hope. So in total, there are 15 tosses, of which 7 are tails and 8 are heads. So frequency of head is more than tails. So like heads is the one category with the highest frequency, right? So that will be the mode. So one thing just to add on, you like definitely you are not gonna see this question in qualifier or the similar question like this. But yeah, the concept we discussed would really be helpful if you have grasped it properly. It would really help you at least in a question or two for sure. Okay.
So here we arrange first tall, then in ascending order, tall and tail and head.
Can you arrange it? I think that's the next question. So the concept we discussed today will be of, I think, major importance than the questions as compared to questions. Like questions are also important. You will definitely see is a few too, but the concept we discussed will definitely help you a lot.
Sir, can you show the option one more time?
Which one?
Sir, can you show the sequence?
Previous slide.
The previous slide.
Previous slide, sir. Which one you put T and H?
Okay, okay. This one, right? Can you please note it down? I will just in 1 minute. I hope all of you can note it down. Yeah, I will add that sequence to that slide as well. Okay. Yeah, thanks for mentioning. Okay, I hope all of you have noted it down for now. So you can answer it. Okay, who is that? Sunbrain Hussein, I think a better way to react would be to response in the peer deck. I hope.
Sir, it's done.
Okay, great. Okay, just a quick 1 minute timer. Yeah. Let other also. Please answer it correctly. We have spent a lot of time on this. Okay, does anyone of you need more time in this question?
No, sir, it's done.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm a bit excited to see your responses. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, okay. Okay, that's okay. So one wish he has studied. Okay, great. Okay, what's the option for? Median is not defined for this data set. Okay. Option 1, 2, and 3. Option 1. Okay. 2 of you have answered option 1. 13 of you have answered option 2. Great. Okay. And 4 of you have option 3. Okay, great. Okay, so first of all, just a quick poll kind of thing. I think I can create a poll. Okay, it's a quick poll. Can you all please answer?
Done, sir.
Yes, answered, sir.
Yeah, let everyone answer. Just a quick. Yeah. Yes. Okay, half of you have answered. I think more than half of you. Just a bit quickly. Okay, that's I think enough. Yeah. Okay, final 10 seconds. Those who want to answer can answer. Okay, so the number of students who answered correct to the poll, it's more than the who actually answered correct to this question. Okay, surprised a bit. Okay, so this is a nominal data. I cannot say that heads is greater than tail or tail is greater than head, right? It's just a label of two sides of the coin, right? We cannot say that this side is greater than this side. So it's a nominal data. That's the major thing to be keep in mind. And if it's a nominal data, I cannot perform the first step of computing the median, which is arrange in ascending order. And if I cannot arrange, it's not defined, right? So there is a purpose I haven't added the sequence to this slide because it's not required at all. So, right?
Sir, I would like to ask one question here. Like
Yeah.
in this question which we have asked regarding a tail and head, we have a number of observations with the tail and head. Can we draw, like I'm asking questions, in these observations, we have the possibility of drawing the both bar chart and Pareto chart, right, sir?
Yeah, you can plot, right? Because this is nominal data. We don't have any
Nominal
other
data.
categories. So you can plot it. Fair to
Both
plot.
can be drawn, sir.
Yeah, both can be drawn. Like all three can be drawn. It depends on your objective, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I think we are done with the slides. Anyone having doubt in any of these 8 questions we have done today or any of the concept we discussed?
Can you explain, if possible, nominal, ordinal?
Nominal
Excuse me,
ordinal.
sir. Yes, sir. That one I want to.
Okay, great. We can do that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that we are going to discuss other than doubt?
No, it's only a doubt for the last 15 minutes.
So maybe leave.
Yeah, if you don't have any, you are free to leave.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, are these questions available on the portal?
Yeah, these are okay. So the portal thing, I think I should show you all better. So, okay, so when you go to this self-paced periodic activities, so it's week 2, right? So for now you might have, so this is the link for week 1. For week 2 it would be updated. Okay, so if you click on it, that would be the week 1 slides which we discussed last week. I think Prashant has taken that session. So these are the week 1 questions. So similarly, you can practice week 2 questions again after the session. It's
Sir,
yeah.
sir, when we complete the practice assignment, can we get the more questions? Like it was told to us that when we refresh, we'll get more
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Whenever you refresh, you will get a new set of 5 questions. Only the first practice assignment.
Sorry, sir?
Only the first practice assignment. There are 2 practice assignment, right? 2.1, 2.2, or 1.1, 1.2.
Yes, sir, but it is not happening.
It will happen. Okay, let me show. It will happen. Okay, so this is 2.1, right? These are the set of 5 question I have. If I refresh it, I will get a new set of 5 questions. So on every refresh, like you might find 1 or 2 questions repeating, but mostly you will get a new set of 5 questions. So you can
Hello,
practice
sir.
as much as you want. Yeah.
So will the Thursday test
Thank you,
grade
sir.
it?
Thursday test graded. No,
It will add in our qualifier process.
no, it
Number.
won't be graded. It's just for your practice. It's a mock test. Mock
Okay,
test
sir.
is nothing to be done with that. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So
thank you, sir.
someone was asking, yeah, nominal and ordinal, right?
Which Thursday for?
This Thursday we have one revision session of week 1 and 2. Okay. So let me write it down. It might be added to your calendar. It's already added. I mean, 6 to 8 p.m. we have a revision session. Week 1 and 2. Okay.
Link later you will provide, sir?
It's already in your calendar.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So after this session, you will get a mock test for week 1, 2, and you will have a complete day to solve that mock test. Okay. Based on week 1, 2 combined. Okay.
So on Thursday we will get mock test.
Yeah, after this revision session, you will get mock test released on the portal. Okay. You will get an announcement regarding it. So don't worry about it. Okay. And as soon as we release, we will provide you complete 24 hours to do it. You can do it as per your preferable time. Okay. So nominal, ordinal data. Okay, so these are just the 2 branches of categorical data, right? So our main focus is on what are the categories I have, right? So, okay, let's not write the complete statements. In nominal data, ordering of categories is not possible. But in ordinal, we can order the categories. So for example, I think we have discussed a few today. Let's try some other example. Okay, let's say the source of income of a country, right? So this is your source. This is the income we are getting. So our sources are, let's say, agriculture, right? Education, and let's say sports. These are the 3 categories. And these are some whatever revenue we are generating. So can we order these categories? Can I say that agriculture is greater than education or education is greater than agriculture? Or can I have a order? Do I have a order among these categories?
On the basis of income, we can order, but
No. For
And
the
not
per
order
income.
the source.
Only focus on the categories. Can I order these categories?
No.
No, sir.
No, right. We cannot order. So it is nominal. And let's say, give an example. That is good, bad, average. I think we've done a lot. Let's think about something else.
Rating. Class
Rating.
1, class 2, class 12.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Education level, let's say number of people in that with that education level. So I can have education level 12th, right? I can have graduation, I can have post grad, and some frequencies over there. So can I order these categories? Can I say that the graduation is greater than class 12th or post graduation is greater than the graduation? Can I order it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So if we can order these categories, it's ordinal. If we cannot order these categories, it's nominal. So don't try to order it in terms of this income or frequency, anything. Just look at the categories. Can we order these categories? That would give you an answer whether it's nominal or ordinal. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, means this is the only way we can identify that it is a nominal or it is a ordinal.
Yeah, I think that's what we spent week 1 on, right? You can go through, I think, the last lecture of week 1 again. It has covered this thing.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, why I am not able to join study room from yesterday, sir? Any study room classes?
You would be able to join. I think it's the link is added to your calendar, right?
Sir, I am clicking on calendar and I am asking to join within the time around 8 o'clock, but I am not able to join.
Able to
Yesterday
join.
also and today also, sir.
Okay. Can you write this to the support? They can answer you in this
Sir,
way.
via email, sir?
Yeah, via email or you can also call. Both are available. You can mail.
Sir, timing are the 7 to 9 around, no, sir.
So it's better if you mail.
Okay,
You
sir.
can mail.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Sir, what about ratings, sir, when they are given in the form of 1 to 5?
1 to 5. That goes to the interval scale. They do have order.
Interval scale, sir.
Yeah, interval scale. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You
And
can.
sir, how do we calculate the average of that rating, sir? If
That we
frequency
will
is
do
given.
in week 3. That we will do in week 3. So you can check this week. Are you guys checking this resources from instructor? So in week 1, frequently asked question, we know that this rating question is the most asked one.
Yes, sir.
So we have included that example over here. So you can go through this. This is just, I think, 3 pages read. It will clear, like these are the most common doubts we have observed throughout the terms. So you can go through it. It will clarify most of
Sir,
your
is
doubts.
there any book which is in coordination with the course, means as the lecture cover?
Yeah, we are releasing. So we instructors are writing a book. We will release it. For week 1 2, we will release it hopefully by the end of this week. We are working on it. Okay.
Sir,
For
in
week,
this week, the book will be released.
yeah, most probably for week 1 2, we will release this week. For week, like for last 6 7 weeks, we have it completed. So as soon as we reach that week, it will be released. For first 4 weeks, it will be released. So okay.
Sir, in all subject are only statistics.
Our different subjects have different like deadlines to release. So for week 1 2, for stats 1, we will release by the end of this week. That's what I can tell. For other courses, you can ask respective instructors.
And the PDF will be available in course introduction.
Yeah, it will be available in supplementary contents. There we have new section called practice book where you can access those.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone, anything else? Shall we wrap up for today? Okay, I think we can close for today. Okay, thank you everyone. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your nice tutoring.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for tolerating me for 2 hours.
Shall I leave, sir?
Yeah, you all can leave the session.